Hello, this is Michele from Sound Intuition here, and thank you for joining me for our Wild Woman Oracle reading. So here is the Wild Woman Oracle deck, and I'm going to do a reading for January's rebirth. So we have our January rebirth card. Since it's January, I figured it would be fitting to read about our rebirth. So January's rebirth. The message here is, in what ways is my higher self calling me to step up so that I can give birth to a new version of myself who is wiser, more aware of my needs, and more authentic? So that's a good question to sit and journal with. I'll add it in the description so that you can really just sit with that. Okay, so the message from this January rebirth card. This card reminds you that we come to Earth to learn lessons and grow, and often do so by making mistakes. We discover our needs after repeatedly putting ourselves into relationships where our needs are not met. We discover who we truly are after we tire of juggling too many tasks. This is the nature of our journey. This is the nature of our journey we signed up for as our souls living the human experience. Acknowledge your mistakes and ponder what these errors have taught you about your true self, needs, and most authentic desires. So, some of us believe that our souls, before they are born into this earth, choose who they want to be, what they want to experience. They choose their parents. They literally look down on the earth, choose who they want to be their parents. They can see what they want to experience in this life, good, bad, awful, wonderful, everything. And they choose to experience these things, our souls do, for growth, for experience, for evolution, because our souls, true essence, true self, wants to learn everything, wants to experience everything. So we come to the earth to experience. We come to the earth to live, to feel, to really embody this human experience. And each life we grow, our soul grows and experiences more and more and more, and evolves more and more and more. And this is why you get such a widespread characteristics and personalities of people. This is why some people are naturally good at things. This is why some people, even if they're like in their 50s, they seem so immature. This is why some people just go through life differently than others. And this is why what some of us believe, and this is all what some of us believe. If it doesn't resonate with what you believe, that's okay. This is why there is a lot of horrible things that happen, because your soul knew that that would happen to you, and you signed on for it, for the experience, for the growth, for the evolution of your soul. So if something happened when you were really, really young, if something happened where a child dies, or you live through war, or you live through this, or you live through that, your soul knew that was going to happen, and they were prepared for it. You know, that I think is where the term "you're only given as much as you can handle" comes from, because you chose to handle it, and you knew, and your soul is is much stronger than your human body too. So even if your human body doesn't live or survive it, your soul does. Your soul lives on and survives it and grows from it. So again, these are just the experiences there that I wanted to touch upon. So I'm just going to read that message one more time after talking about that. This card reminds you that we come to the earth to learn lessons and grow, and often do so by making mistakes. We discover our needs after repeatedly putting ourselves into relationships where our needs are not met. So this is another thing we do. We just learn. The biggest lessons come through failures. So we discover who we truly are after we tire of juggling too many masks. So that's pretty self-explanatory. And I think that happens a lot as we grow. We go beyond our 20s. And you realize, like, I don't want to put these masks on anymore. I just want to be me. And some people before that. But I'd say the majority of us, that happens like after our 20s or like at the end of our 20s. We realize, like, okay, I need to find who I really am and stop wearing these masks. Sometimes even after our 20s. Sometimes people don't discover this until later on in life. But eventually, most of us do discover this and get sick of it. This is the nature of our journey we signed up for as our soul's living human experience. Acknowledge your mistakes and ponder what these errors have taught you about your true self, needs, and most authentic desires. Things to sit with, journal with, ponder on. Okay, throughout our lives, our higher self will call us to initiate a rebirth of the self. Like these times I'm talking about, like a lot of times that can happen, in your preteens, your teens, in your 20s, in your late 20s, in your 30s, in your late 30s, in your 40s, in your 50s. Like this happens at so many different times in our lives. So our higher selves call on us to initiate a rebirth, to show up for ourselves every day to the best of our ability, and as we want others to show up for us. So do on to others as you'd want them to do unto you, and treat yourself the way you want others to treat you. To stop fooling ourselves into thinking that we can somehow achieve more inner and outer freedom without first achieving greater self-discipline. Treating yourself, living your life that you want to live, treating yourself the way you want to be treated. That's achieving greater discipline. To recognize that everything occurs in our external reality, good or bad, is mirroring a lesson that we have yet to grasp internally. Okay, so the symbolism, that was the message. Here's the symbolism. On a bittery cold January eve, here, you can look at the card while I read this part. On a bittery cold January eve, a young woman has consulted the tarot. A crow and coyote, the wise fools of the animal world, and the fool, always represented by 0, point her to both a completion and a beginning. She must let go of the past fully, yet seek to understand the hidden motivations behind those mistakes so that she can learn from them. The Temperance card signals that she must understand her unique needs for mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual well-being, then set firm boundaries around them. The Justice card directs her to better hear the voice of the higher self by shutting out outside influences, because all the answers she seeks are within, and she alone can decide for herself what is truth. So, that is your January Rebirth Wild Woman Oracle reading. If you like this, please hit the like button on this page because it really helps the algorithm be able to view more people, to be able to view these messages, these videos and things that I make. And subscribe if you liked it. There'll be a lot more different videos, different readings, different things like that along the way. Thank you. Sending so much love.